We're going to go straight to Caroline Wilson because there's been a development in what has been an amazing story all week, which has been Chris Scott down at Geelong. There's been a lot of fun, there's been a banter, but some people haven't got a sense of humour and the AFL have come down hard tonight.
They have, Ed. Chris Scott will be punished for that altercation with Lachie Neale, which happened at quarter time of the Geelong-Brisbane game. There were several other incidents in that game, but the AFL are particularly strong on the fact that Chris Scott responded to a comment from Lachie Neale. A suspended fine will be the punishment, but it might sound a bit weak. It's a line in the sand moment. The AFL have checked out the fact this is what obviously unfolded at quarter time. Chris Scott responding to a comment about Gary Rowan. AFL not particularly happy about Lachie Neale, but believe that there is a grown-up in the room, and that is the senior coach. They now regret not acting, perhaps, on that incident that we showed on Monday night's Footy Classified. We might have a look at it again, which, of course, was the comment to Razor Ray during the finals last year when Chris walked onto the ground and had a crack at Razor Ray about bouncing the ball. There he is here during the final series up in Brisbane last year. And, of course, Chris Scott, we know, has a few priors. He had a crack at Hamish Hartlett from Port Adelaide a few years ago, back in 2016. Now, there was also an allegation that Chris Scott might have spoken with umpires or made comments about umpires. The AFL have gone through the vision, haven't ascertained that that did happen. But as I said, Ed, a line in the sand moment. They probably think they probably should have acted earlier on this. Coaches are no longer going to be able to talk to players, and if they do, it won't be a suspended fine. This will be the last suspended fine, in my view. Hello
to Matthew Lloyd. Hello to Ross Lyon. We'll keep going on this because let's roll the vision from the first quarter of the game last week, because if you're having a drinking game, and there's a few people who do, watching Chris Scott go off at the umpires, you're gone by quarter time. And the umpires and the AFL not happy with the constant theatrics. Now, it's not his fault that the camera's on him, but he knows the camera's on him. And it's fair to say that people have had enough. I suppose the ultimate irony...
What aren't they happy about, Ed? What aren't they happy about?
I think they're not happy with the constant demonstrative attack on the umpires while game is being played. And I suppose the ultimate irony on all this was the rub of the green went Geelong's way.
It's unfair to say that's all at the umpires. We don't know what the frustration's about. Could be someone turning the ball over.
Could be too. Yeah.
I think that side of it's a bit rough.
I'm telling what the mail is from inside the AFL, though.
Ross, coaches talk to players.
Not my opinion. I couldn't care less.
Matthew felt... Kane Corns on Monday night felt good theatre. Matthew has issues with it, but felt that he was sticking up for his players, and that's what he would like to see.
For me, two threads. Your players are in your team what you are. So Chris, combative, competitor, they would like that in a sense. But the second thread is, and it overrides the first, is the greater good and the flow-on effect to the lower levels. So there's nothing that mitigates it for me. Take the high ground, keep walking, don't engage.
Yeah. Just on that, obviously they were wound up in the pre-game. I think after the way they played against the Adelaide Crows, they were wound up like clocks, all of them, every single one of them. So I think it's spilt out, and I think Alistair Clarkson gets like that, Damien Hardwick gets like that, Chris Scott gets like that. But we've shown a number of incidents, and now what is it going to be, a suspended sentence? What is it going to be?
A suspended fine. A suspended fine.
So what happened to the previous ones? As I said, I'm a big Chris Scott fan, but I understand that it can't keep happening.
I'm a Chris Scott fan
What happens next time? What happens?
Well, say the suspended fine is $10,000, and I don't know what it's going to be, 25, but it'll be the bigger fine and maybe another fine. I think it'll be fines, but I won't have this excuse that it fires up your players and that all the great coaches do it.
Zach Tui was said today on radio that seeing your coach in your corner like that, you want to play for him even more. So that's what's coming from players.
These things happen in other levels of footy, as Ross said, and they can become dangerous, Matthew. Yeah. I mean, he's a premiership coach. He's got to be the bigger person. I don't think it's good enough.
It's interesting, last week having the discussion that Collingwood was being too nice and showing sportsmanship, and this week we're arcing up the other way. So it's one way or the other. Now,
Chris Scott has acknowledged, by the way, that Chris Scott has acknowledged he should not have responded to Lachie Neale.
OK, so the AFL put in a suspended sentence, and that's probably about right.